Hey, what is up, nerds, geeks, and collectors alike? Today we are taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Bad Batch clone Captain Rex. And I'm very excited for this particular figure. Captain Rex is my favorite clone trooper, and unfortunately I missed out on the first and second release. So I'm very happy to have this figure at hand. And we get this window where we see the figure as well as his accessories, and this is now the standard packaging for the Black Series figures. And at the side here we have an artwork of Captain Rex, and this does complete the image for the Bad Batch. But I am only collecting character specific when it comes to Star Wars. I don't plan on getting all of them to complete the toy line. And at the back here we have that similar image from the side, as well as a brief bio for Captain Rex. Now moving on, not much at the other side, but we do have the Star Wars Black Series logo at the bottom, and at the top nothing much except for a window, and at the bottom just the legal mumbo jumbo as well as the UPC. And here we have Captain Rex outside of his packaging, and as you can see here, this is his attire or his appearance from the Bad Batch. He does have this poncho, as you can see right here. Let's just position the figure, and he does look good. I am happy to have this particular figure. And let's take his helmet off. His helmet is removable, much like his previous releases. As you can see here, let's remove his blasters as well, and let's take a look at the accessories before we take a look at the figure itself. Now, Captain Rex does come with a unique helmet. As you can see here, we have his Phase 1 and Phase 2 helmet merged, and the upper portion is the Phase 1 and the lower portion is the Phase 2. As you can see here, it is lacking some paint at the back, but on the front we do have that weathering effect as if he is from countless battles, which he does come from a lot of them. As you can see here, he does have his binoculars, and I think this was based on an early concept art. I think this is how he was going to appear on the Bad Batch, but they removed this and we never get to see him use this in the Bad Batch. But he does have this look during the Umbara arc. He does have his binoculars with his helmet. As you can see, he has his tally right there, and at the other side he has this tally of, to this day I don't have no idea what the tally stands for. Of course, I think it can't be kills because he has taken out a lot of droids, and as you can see, his Pathfinder is also movable. And taking a look at the sides, actually, if you really do not want the binoculars, I think you're able to cut it right here and just leave the pegs on so you wouldn't have a hole right there. Just cut that part. Let me zoom in. As you here, just about here, I think you can cut this if you really do not want the binoculars for Captain Rex. And at the side, I think you need to pull out the Pathfinder first and then cut that part right there, but I'm not gonna do it with this one because this is my only Captain Rex and I can't afford to mess it up, and I really do not have the heart to do it myself. So I'm just gonna leave the binoculars right there since it is tolerable for me. And as you can see, it is possible to have Captain Rex without his binoculars. With a little customizing, I think it will turn out just fine. So you'd have how he appeared in the majority of the Clone Wars, especially that he does use it just once throughout the entire Clone Wars. Now moving on to his blasters right here. These are DC-17 blaster pistols, which Captain Rex is known to dual wield. It is his weapon of choice, and you can't have Captain Rex without his DC-17 blaster pistols. Right here, they are made of black plastic, no paint whatsoever, but I think that's for the better, since if you're gonna put it on and off and put it on his holsters, you're gonna chip that paint. So I think it's better off that there is no paint with his blaster pistols. Now taking a look at the figure itself without the helmet, Captain Rex does come with a Tomoya Morrison photoreal head sculpt, and this is really very good. I think this captures Tomoya Morrison and then it applies the Captain Rex hairstyle with the blonde hair. As you can see, much like the Clone Wars figures, this integrates the photoreal with the animated TV show, and I think it captures Captain Rex's likeness if he does debut in the live action movies or TV shows. And Captain Rex can equip his helmet. What you do here is just simply, and unfortunately you can see his chin right there. If we let's remove it once more like this and try to angle it, I try to make him look up and then I put the helmet down, but unfortunately you can still see the chin. You just have to work your angles in order to get the best look for Captain Rex if he is equipped with his poncho. Now let's remove the helmet, and I think what everyone wants to see is what does Captain Rex have underneath. So we just position the figure like this and we slowly make our way onto removing his poncho. It is possible, but it is a little cumbersome, a little adjustment here and there, but it is possible. And simply just, no, I don't want to rip the poncho as much as it is useless for me, since I won't have him pose or displayed on my shelf with the poncho on. I do want to display him with his clone armor. And just let's remove it right there. And as you can see, here is Captain Rex with his poncho fully removed. And taking a look right here, let's just fix this up. It is made of two pieces of fabric, the brown part for the entire body and the green part for his hoodie, as you can see. And there you have it. Now let's take a look at Captain Rex himself without his poncho. Now the body is actually the same as the previous two versions, just comes with a different paint as well as a pauldron. And once more, let's admire the head sculpt right here. It is a perfect hybrid of the live action Tomoya Morrison head sculpt with the Captain Rex hairstyle from the animated TV show. As you can see, here's a 360 look at that head sculpt, and the clone body is actually the same. His legs, and as you can see, his skirt is kind of messed up, but that's because of the packaging. As you can see here, it's a little messed up, but it is fixable. I just want to show you what you get when you get this guy out of the packaging. This is what you can expect. That's why I didn't fix it prior to the review. And as you can see here, he has some tally marks, and I do know what they are saying, that the legs are switched and you need to switch them in order to have it properly. And I don't think that's kind of a big deal, since I don't notice it that much. And on the arms, we have his tally right there. At the back, weirdly enough, at the back, he doesn't have any paint of weathering whatsoever, which is, of course, Hasbro's inconsistency. No, the front is damaged, neatly painted, it looks worn, but at the back he looks brand new, as if he is a shiny. And once more, taking a look at the calves right here, his boots are very dirty at the front and at the back. So if you look at Captain Rex from the front, he is a veteran that has survived countless battles, but if you look at him from the back, he apparently is a shiny. Now bringing the blasters right here, you can actually put his blasters on the holster, as you can see right here. Just slot this in there, and there you have Captain Rex with his DC-17 blasters. and that goes the same for the other side. Now for the helmet, just like earlier, you just slide this onto his head. But as you can see here, it fits better without the cloak, since the cloak, or excuse me, the poncho doesn't give the same clearance as it does without the poncho. So I think this looks better, especially for the helmet. It does go all the way down and it does look more natural. Moving on, Captain Rex can hold his blasters right here. Let's just remove it first. Let's start with this one and with the other one, and there it goes as I let go of it. And let's do this one first. As you can see, we just slide this into his hand and right there, and there you have Captain Rex with his DC-17 blaster pistol, and he does hold it rather nicely. And on the other hand, right here, weirdly enough, he doesn't have a trigger finger hand, unlike the one on the right, so it does tend to look awkward in certain angles. But once more, just slide this. Let's just open it in order for the figure to go in, as you can see right there. And there you have Captain Rex dual wielding his DC-17 blaster pistols. And if you want to, you can give Captain Rex a trigger finger hand on his left hand by getting an X-Acto knife and slicing the index finger. Now that's about it for the figure itself, as well as his accessories. As you can see, let's try and fix his skirt up right here, and let's remove the helmet for the articulation. And let's just remove it right here. And as you can see, this head is on a ball joint. Let me just focus my camera. He can look up that far, look down that far, and he does look down a fair amount, and his head is on a ball joint, so he can actually do this 360. And the other side. Now let's put on the helmet and see how far his articulation goes. As you can see, with the helmet, you can see that far up, but unfortunately you can see his neck, and he can look down that far, as well as a 360 as well. And that's the possibility for the head with and without the helmet. Captain Rex can go a full 360 on his shoulder. He can go out that far, and then he does have a bicep swivel right here, but unfortunately his shoulder pad is restricting further articulation when it comes to his bicep swivel. So as you can see right there, he does have double jointed elbows, but his elbow is restricted by that armor piece. So not a deal breaker. He has a swivel at the wrist, as well as a back and forth. That goes the same with the other arm. Swivel and a up and down. Moving on to the torso area, as you can see right here, he can do a full 360 on the torso, but he cannot crunch and arc that much due to the armor. And let's just fix this figure up. And the legs, he can kick that far out and then back that far. He has a upper thigh swivel right here, as you can see, and then double jointed knees, which is once more restricted by the armor piece. And straightening that, he does have a ankle rocker right there, as well as a pivot. And that's about it for the articulation. Moving on to size comparisons. Here we have Captain Rex. He stands about 6 inches high without his helmet, as you can see right there. But with this helmet, Captain Rex stands about 6.5 inches. That's thanks to his Pathfinder as well as the binoculars, but a little above 6 inches with the actual helmet itself. Now, let's bring in his brother in arm, Clone Commander Cody, right there. And I think they scale pretty nicely. As you can see here, Captain Rex and Commander Cody does have a different shade of white, where Commander Cody has more of this very whitish white, while Captain Rex has this egg white. And here we have Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker. And I gotta say, these two look very cool together side by side. And this makes me wish that this figure, especially that its price point is a deluxe, I wish Hasbro would have included another pauldron that is more screen accurate to his face to appearance. But since we have these figures, let's just add Obi-Wan Kenobi for the sake of having my favorite Clone Wars characters in the same frame. And I gotta say, these guys look well together. So to summarize what I think and feel about the figure is, this is an absolutely good chance for you to get a Captain Rex figure if you missed out on the previous two releases. And unfortunately, I do see this guy going up in the aftermarket since it is Captain Rex. But of course, this figure obviously has its downsides, where it has an inaccurate pauldron. His helmet is inaccurate, but if he did have an accurate pauldron, then I guess you can say that this version of Captain Rex from the Bad Batch can also be the Captain Rex from the Umbara arc. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So there are going to be compromises if you are going to get this figure for the sake of having a Captain Rex. But personally, I am very happy to finally have a Captain Rex join my collection. So despite its flaws and lacking of accuracy, I am satisfied personally with this figure. I am very happy to have this Captain Rex figure on hand, and I am very happy to get this at a retail price. So if you do have a chance to get this figure and you do not have the first two releases or either of the first two releases, I say you should definitely treat yourself with this figure. So that's about it. Till next time, see ya.